everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel Rather Be Reading, and today I'm bringing to you my top 5 movies of 2019. Okay, so a couple of things before we kind of get into this list. First off, this list is made up of movies that I saw in 2019 and not 2019 releases, which I know is very common in favorites for books, but if you guys watch any kind of movie content creators on YouTube, then typically favorites of 2019 list for movies is about movie releases in 2019, and I am a big movie buff, but I just do not get to the cinema the way that I did like a few years ago. I think there's one 2019 release on this list, but the rest of them are just movies that I have happened to watch in 2019 that I really enjoyed. The other thing is that you might be wondering where you're probably not, but if you are wondering where what I watched for the last quarter of the year, for October through December, I'm not going to be posting one because I have gotten into like kind of the worst slump I've ever been in, and I know we've talked a lot in those videos about how I've been in a TV watching kind of slump for literal years, but I've always consumed a huge amount of movies. You probably know if you watch those What I Watched videos. I watched one movie in the entirety of October through December, and it was a rewatch. Like, it's a movie I've seen before. It wasn't even anything I hadn't seen before. I don't know what is going on, why I just haven't been feeling the vibe to watch movies. I've been really focused lately on reading, but also like watching YouTube which has been great because I typically have always been really behind in my like watch later or like subscription feed, and I'm pretty on top of my subscription feed these days, which is great. I love watching people's content as it's coming out. And so because of that, I haven't been watching many movies, many at all in the last couple of months. So I do want to get back on top of that, particularly because I haven't been watching anything. Every book that I read in that quarter that had a movie adaptation, I haven't seen the adaptation yet. And I typically like to watch my adaptations right around the time that I read the book. So that's getting me kind of antsy. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm not trying to push it though. I'm just doing what I want to do. When I feel the vibe to watch a movie, then I'll watch a movie. And I don't know, maybe we'll have I have seen, like I said, I only saw one movie in that part of last year, and up till the point in January, what's the date today? The 18th? It's the 18th of January today. I've watched one movie in January so far. So yeah, it's not been a very movie heavy time in my life, but it is what it is. So whatever, who cares about that? Let's talk about the top 5 movies. So and we do have a few book adaptations on this list. Anyway, coming in at number 5 is Wonder, which is a book to movie adaptation. The book is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This is the movie adaptation. It is about a little boy named Augie who has a severe facial deformity, and he is at the start of the story kind of going to a mainstream school for the first time. He's always previously been homeschooled, and this is his first time going to a mainstream school and dealing with going to be in class with other kids who, are going to see and have to deal with his facial deformity. I loved this book. If you saw my favorites of the year, then you know that this book was on my favorites of the year list. And so I should say that only one of these movies I gave 5 stars. I only gave one movie 5 stars. It turns out I'm even stingier with movies than I am with books, which who knew that was possible? But apparently, so all the rest of these on this list are 4.5 stars. So I gave the book 5 stars, but I only gave the movie 4.5. I didn't think the movie was quite as good as the book, but still really good. I thought all the performances were pretty great. It's a very heartwarming movie book with a really heartwarming message, a great message. It's obviously good for kids. It's just a great movie, and I cried a lot and I really enjoyed it. So we have that. Coming in at number 4 is Bohemian Rhapsody. Wait, was that a 2019 release? I feel like Bohemian Rhapsody was 2018 and I just saw it in 2019. Anyway, Bohemian Rhapsody, which is obviously the movie about Queen, focusing mainly on Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen. I really enjoy Queen. They're probably one of my favorite bands. I'm not super knowledgeable about them, but I do really love like most of their music and all of that type of thing. I've said previously that if there's any time period where I like had a time machine and could like go back to like experience a day in history, Queen's Live Aid performance is one of the moments that I would be picking from to go back to, because I just think it would be a crazy moment to have lived. And yeah, I thought this movie, I know this movie like it was very like popular, had very, very great ratings when it came out. And then quite a few people came out who were big Queen fans and said that it was like wasn't accurate, all of that. I don't know. For what it was for me, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought the performances were great. I really liked the story. I thought Rami Malek, like I said, had an amazing performance. He did really amazing as Freddie Mercury. The way that we built up to that Live Aid performance at the end was just great. And yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. So that made my list. Coming in at number 3 is another book to movie adaptation, and that is A Monster Calls. So the book is Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This is the movie adaptation. Again, so I gave the book 5 stars, and it was on my favorites list again. But it was just a 4.5 star read. Again, I don't know why I just did this. It was a 4.5 star rated movie. So again, not quite as good as the book, but still really great. I wasn't sure how they were going to do, because I should have said what this is about. This is about a little boy, I think his name's Connor, whose mother has been diagnosed with cancer, and basically a tree monster starts visiting him at night. And I wasn't sure how they were going to do like the whole tree monster thing like in the movie, and I thought it was done so well. And it was actually funny to me how like kind of the way that the movie looked almost kind of matched like the book that I have, like the black and white type of book that you had. It like almost kind of fit in with it. I thought that they did a great, like it was a pretty faithful adaptation. I thought that again they really captured the vibe and the message of like what this book is about, because that to me is the most important thing with book to movie adaptations. You can cut scenes, you can kind of change minor characters and all of that type of thing. I know some people get really peeved about that, and I do too sometimes, but for me what it really comes down to is, did you capture the like vibe of the story and like the main message of the story? If you get those two things, then like I'm pretty happy with the adaptations generally. And I thought that this movie did a really, really great job of that. Again, made me cry a lot. But yeah, I really liked this adaptation this year. Coming in at number 2 was Bad Times at the El Royale. This movie kind of took me by surprise. When this movie had come out and I saw kind of trailers for it or whatever, I was like intrigued. It was a movie that I thought, oh yeah, I'd want to see that. It looks pretty cool. But I didn't expect to love it the way that I did. This is basically about a hotel, the El Royale, which is on the border of Nevada and California, I believe. So there's like parts of the room you're in one state, parts of the room you're in another. And it's just basically about a group of random strangers who are all at this hotel at the same time and the events that take place. And it is historical. It's set in like the 70s. Is it the 70s or the 60s? Anyway, somewhere around that time period. I loved this movie. There are a few like shocking moments in there. So there's like one part kind of like right at the start where, so it's all kind of like happening. People are arriving at the hotel and that, and you're like all kind of like, yeah, okay, like what's going on? And then like a scene happens where I was just like, okay, wait, what is happening? And I was so intrigued. I like the whole like mysterious vibe. It's one of those movies where you kind of see a scene like from one character's perspective, and then you'll kind of go back and like follow another character, and then like you'll see parts of that scene that you already saw before, but like from another character and all of that. And I love that type of thing. I thought this was done really well. I don't really want to say too much about it. It's not the type of movie you can say too much about the plot without giving stuff away, but I just really enjoyed that movie and I thought it was really well done. Finally, my favorite movie of 2019, which is incredibly, incredibly cliche, but it was Avengers Endgame. Like I said, incredibly cliche for this to be my favorite, but it would have been disingenuous for me to pretend like this wasn't my favorite. Like I said, this is the only movie that I gave 5 stars. Last year, I saw this twice in cinema. I saw it on opening day, and then I saw it like a week later, like that weekend or something like that. And I loved it. I thought that this was the perfect culmination of like everything the Avengers like franchise had been leading to. I thought it was the perfect payoff. It was an amazing, when I saw it on opening day, my dad and I went to see it, and when we saw it on opening day, the like experience in the cinema was just amazing. Everyone, obviously seeing it on opening day, everyone there was pumped to see it. We were all laughing at the same moments and gasping at the same moments and fist pumping at the same moments and crying at the same moments and all of that. It was just such a great experience. You could just feel that vibe in the cinema, which is just always great. I say, and to me, I mean, it's long. It's really, really long. But to me, it didn't feel too long, particularly like the first time I saw it when I, you don't know what's coming. And I personally really, really loved it. I say it gave me everything that I wanted from it. And I thought, I know a lot of, like, there are people who, didn't enjoy it, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. But for me, it was exactly what I wanted from this movie. So that was my favorite movie of the year. So that's it. Those are my favorite movies that I saw last year. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below if you've seen any of these movies, what your thoughts are on them. Did you guys love them as much as I did? I should have given a dishonorable mention. I will. I won't talk about it because I don't know what it is, because I forgot to look into that. But I'll throw up a movie poster here quickly of like what the worst movie was that I watched in 2019. If you want any more details about that, feel free to hit me up in the comments and I will chat to you about whatever this turns out to be. But yeah, I would love to chat with you guys about what movies you guys watched this year that you really, really loved. If you've got any recommendations, my to watch list I should also say I will link my Letterboxd down below, which is, if you don't know, it's basically like Goodreads, but for movies. You can log all of the movies that you're watching and rate them. You can create lists. I love the list feature where you can create all different lists of like favorites. You can rank them or just create lists of like what you've been watching, all of that, or like to watch lists. And on my to watch list is even more than my like book reading list. I've got over 1,000 movies in there, so I'm always down for more recommendations. So yeah, feel free. And once I'm back in a movie watching mood, I can get through like 20 plus movies in a month. So feel free to hit me up in the comments down below with any recommendations. I would love to chat down below. It's basically the point of this section. Please like the video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. That is all I have for this video today. Bye guys.